ever feel that sweet spot when a game feels years away, allowing anticipation to build, and then reality hits, and suddenly it's almost here. So that's where we are with My Eerie Lair. I initially figured we had until Q3 2026 to prepare. Um, Plenty of time to responsibly dive back into Baldur's Gate 3 and The Sims, for research. My Eerie Lair isn't shy about its inspirations. It's a cozy decorating game with a romantic core, a focus on aesthetics, and a definite penchant for morally ambiguous fantasy men. Um, it's essentially the love child of Baldur's Gate 3 and The Sims, and I assumed I had ample time before it demanded my full attention. Unfortunately, that's not the case. On December 11th, a Bad Vices Games announced a public demo releasing in January 2026, less than 2 weeks away. That distant comfort, and yeah, it would be a gated to everything infactive with people who are with better in their with win die being. Now, this isn't a future excitement. It's an imminent experience, a chance to touch, test, and dangerously get attached. And let's be honest, that's probably happening to me first. What is My Eerie Lair? Um, um, it's a dark, cozy game. Um, Furnishings meet toxic romance, and it fully embraces the strangeness of that combination. Uh, it's not just the Sims build mode with the spooky theme, or Baldur's Gate 3's Astarian romance without the shame. It's a deliberately focused experience built around atmosphere, intimacy, and the satisfaction of creating something darkly beautiful, one room at a time. So I think this gridless decorating in a vampire's castle without timers or resource pressure, and the premise: a vampire named Victor kidnaps his beloved Mary and attempts to win her heart by transforming his eerie castle into her dream home. It's the perfect spawn of viral TikTok fantasies. And yes, Victor looks suspiciously like a certain pale, quaked vampire from Baldur's Gate 3. Players unlock thousands of objects, freely manipulating color, scale, and lighting to create moods ranging from grim and seductive to dreamy and melancholic. Uh, you can play in story mode, unraveling the twisted relationship between Victor and Mary as you fill the castle, or in endless mode, indulging in pure decoration without narrative pressure. Be warned, this is a mature game. Uh, it doesn't shy away from its tone. The premise is eyebrow raising, and the developers flag content including violence, gore, and suggestive themes. This isn't pastel fantasy. Uh, a demo signals confidence. It says the developers believe the game's core fantasy is For a genre adjacent title like My Eerie Lair, cozy, narrative, forward, and a little off kilter, that matters. And it reframes expectations, letting players feel the pacing, hear the music, and understand the game's responsiveness. Romance is a huge talking point in modern RPGs, uh, but rarely the main event area. Even in Baldur's Gate 3, romance is optional. So in My Eerie Lair, though, it doesn't have to fight for oxygen. There's something audacious about centering a decorating game around emotional intimacy, especially with a questionable prophecy. But that focus is precisely what works. Um, by narrowing its scope, My Eerie Lair can afford to be deliberate. And it's commonly one relationships unfold at a pace that feels intentional and relationships reflects them. And it might seem to be interesting, and for fans of Astrion's romance, um, this is a chance to relive those glory days. It's a chance to create the perfect layer, tailored to a very specific, darkly romantic taste. Uh, uh, the promise of a demo has a way of making a game's release window feel abstract. Q3 2026 used to sound distant, but now it feels far away, not because the wait is unbearable, but because uh, My Eerie Lair has already begun to assert itself as a present tense experience. And if the demo lives up to the hype, Q3 will feel like a lifetime away. That's the danger of letting players in early. Once you've stepped into a space, arranged it to your liking, and felt the pull of a story that knows exactly which emotional buttons to press, patience becomes harder to maintain. I thought I had time to prepare for um, why My Eerie Lair. It turns out the game had other plans, and if bad vices gains giveth, who am I to take away? Speaking of questionable romances, what do you call a vampire interior designer? Fantastic. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,